If you don't have a bill, you haven't done your job.
Yeah.
Tonight on DC News Now, flight disruptions at DCA because of the government shutdown. We're live from the airport monitoring delays.
The shutdown may soon force some museums in the district to close, but the beat will go on for one.
It's just been a part of my childhood and it's part of me growing up, so I really love Go-Go.
More visitors are helping the Go-Go Museum keep its rhythm going.
Temperature is expected to take a tumble overnight. Just how cold will it get? Those details coming up.
And keeping the chips on the table, the gamble to make poker, blackjack, and bingo legal in DC.
We're entering the autumn era in the DMV, where to find peak fall foliage. That's just a quick drive away.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. We are following breaking news out of Reagan National. Let's take a live look outside at DCA right now, as well as the status updates on current flights. We're now in week 2 of the government shutdown. The FAA is blaming the flight holdups on staffing shortages.
And this comes as President Trump threatens to withhold back pay for some federal workers, including air traffic controllers. The union representing those workers says that's illegal. DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live tonight from Reagan National.
All right, Ben, staffing issues already disrupting travel, but can the president really withhold those missing paychecks when the government reopens?
Hey there, guys. Good evening. It appears no, according to a large swath of the legal community. One expert I caught up with from Georgetown Law told me that it's going to have to require an act of Congress in order to deny federal workers back pay. Federal workers, like those air traffic controllers here at Reagan National, they have plenty of questions. Federal workers unions do too.
Not a political game.
If you don't have a bill, you haven't done your job.
Yeah.
Anger and angst in Washington. Union leaders advocating for a deal to fund the government, support the federal workforce and people employed by contractors, gathering to send one cohesive message after 1 week of gridlock.
Open the government today.
Without work and without a paycheck, or at work and being told that they won't even get back pay. In violation of the law.
It's the threat of no back pay from President Trump that's increasingly scrutinized after this admission Tuesday.
But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of.
Can the president do this unilaterally, or does it require a change of the law?
Unless they change the law, federal employees will have to get back pay, whether they were required to work during the shutoff or not.
Georgetown law professor David Super says the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019 is clear and also defines when employees get back pay. Quote, compensation shall be paid at the earliest date possible after the lapse in appropriations ends, regardless of scheduled pay dates.
If he feels strongly about not providing back pay to federal workers, he can obstruct an end of the shutdown until Congress agrees to that. I would hope he wouldn't do that, but who knows?
Any impact to deny back pay could be wide-reaching. Last week, President Trump said roughly 750,000 federal workers were expected to be furloughed, and even some potentially fired.
So he intends to either violate the law or he was just grating, frightening, antagonizing hardworking federal employees.
How about our local leaders following the president's comments? Well, today and yesterday, I reached out to the Republican nominee for governor in Virginia, Winsome Earl-Sears, as well as current Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin. They've not responded over the course of 2 days. Who did respond yesterday? Governor Wes Moore in Maryland, a Democrat, and Democrat nominee for governor in Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, saying they condemn any threats against the federal workforce. At Reagan National, Ben Dennis, back to you.
All right, Ben, thanks. Meanwhile, the government shutdown also throwing a wrench into some major community events. Taste of Nova Festival now moving its venue from Fort Belvoir to Manassas. Organizers and vendors are scrambling to relocate at the last minute. The original venue, that was the National Museum of the U.S. Army, but it's closed due to the shutdown. This weekend's festival will now be held at the Nova Live campus, and despite the change, there'll still be the same food, fun, and a lot of flavors from across Northern Virginia.
Try to bring the community in Northern Virginia together any way we can.
Well, Taste of Nova is offering 20% off admission tickets for federal workers. They just have to show their government ID.
We're also waiting to see if the Army 10-miler will be happening this weekend as scheduled. Organizers say that they would have had a decision by today, but we just checked and still no word on if they'll be canceling the in-person race. They've already moved the expo over to the St. James in Springfield, Virginia. You'll be able to pick up your bib on Friday and Saturday. The race, that's scheduled for Sunday morning at 8, starting from the Pentagon North lot. If they are going to be canceling, you'll get a refund on your registration fee. And the virtual race, that is still going on as planned. We have continuing coverage of the government shutdown on air and online, including resources available for federal workers. You can find all the details at dcnewsnow.com.
All right, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jackie Layer. And Jackie, boy, we have some big changes happening weather-wise right now.
Yeah, and those temperatures are already starting to drop at this point. So get ready. You'll likely need that, heavier jacket or even that sweater out there tomorrow morning. We're talking about temperatures starting off likely into those 40s for much of the area. We're not quite that cold just yet, but that cold front is continuing to exit off towards our east. We're seeing those winds mainly out of the north and west, and under those mainly clear skies. Temperatures are already dropping at this point, and we're already into those 50s to low 60s right now. 63 currently in D.C. Seeing those 50s farther off towards the north and west out towards the I-81 corridor as well as the mountains region. That temperature difference, though, from yesterday evening to this evening, we're running between 10 to close to 20 degrees cooler. We're noticing that difference down towards Culpeper. We're close to a 20-degree difference. At least that breeze out of the north and west, not quite as strong as earlier today, but still enough to be between 5 and close to 10 miles per hour at this point. Overnight lows tonight into tomorrow morning. A lot of 40s on this map, right around 50 though for D.C. Low to mid 40s to the north and west. We're talking upper 30s out towards Kaiser, Woodstock, and Luray. So it will be a cold one out there tomorrow morning. We'll have more details. Time out the rest of that 7-day forecast coming up.
Looking forward to that, Jackie. Thank you. We are following breaking news. President Trump says Israel and Hamas have both agreed to phase 1 of a peace plan. That could mean the militant group would be releasing more hostages and Israel would withdraw troops to an agreed upon line. The president making the announcement on social media, calling it a great day for the world.
New details out of Northern Virginia tonight. 2 teens arrested, accused of throwing fireworks and hurting 2 officers in Vienna. You can see a gaping hole there in the restaurant. It happened in September at a McDonald's on Maple Avenue West. Investigators say the officers, they were trying to break up a large group of high school students who were fighting. That's when they say a 16 and 18-year-old shot off the fireworks in their direction. In Maryland, police are trying to figure out why this minivan crashed into a tree this morning in Silver Spring. That crash happened on Punch Street. We're told 1 adult and 2 young children were evaluated at the scene. You can see a lot of damage to that minivan. No word yet on what caused the crash.
Now to a crash in Maryland this afternoon, sending a woman to the hospital. Investigators say a driver in a commercial truck ran into her while she was there in the crosswalk. It happened in the King Farm area of Rockville. Police say the driver was at fault and will be facing charges. The woman was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries.
In the district, some of the biggest attractions, the Smithsonian Museum and National Zoo, will stay open through Saturday. Now, if the government shutdown continues after that, they'll close. DC News Now's Yamari Say joining us live in Southeast DC. And Yamari, the Go-Go Museum really hitting some high notes right now and actually benefiting from the shutdown.
Yeah, well, the president of the Go-Go Museum says they are seeing more visitors come in during this shutdown. But he says it's also due to a fundraiser that they launched not too long ago to really spread awareness about the museum, keep their doors open, and also preserve the culture of go-go.
It's just been a part of my childhood and it's part of me growing up. So I really love go-go.
See, the history behind it, especially DC history, which this museum has facts about, which is like the coolest thing.
Since the shutdown, Ronald Moulton, president of the Go-Go Museum, says they welcome more visitors than usual.
We've seen an uptake. We've had different people come. We even had the Attorney General here today and his staff.
And the increase in visitors also has to do with Moulton's video posted on social media a few weeks ago, asking the community to visit or donate as they work to raise funds to keep operations going and pay staff. Since then, they've raised nearly $100,000 of their $500,000 goal.
It feels very, very good to see people, businesses and ordinary people come and say, look, I'm going to help you.
And during a time where many are impacted by the government shutdown, Moulton says it could have a ripple effect on the community.
The arts feel it, the public safety feel it, the schools feel it, like everybody feels it. So anything like that, of that magnitude, is going to affect us all.
But for now, they're focused on getting more people through the doors and keeping the history and soul of go-go music alive.
When you come here and you actually support by, buying a ticket to actually check out the museum, you keep this place afloat. We
have something for everybody here, and we have a cafe where you can eat our good food that show all the diasporas that were created when we left Africa and which created go-go. We're proud of this, and we know without go-go, DC wouldn't be what it is today.
Now, if you are interested in joining or donating off for the fundraiser, you can visit our website, dcnewsnow.com. For now, reporting here in DC, I'm Yammer Say. Back to you guys.
All right, Yamri, a great museum, so we're going to have to check it out. The Washington Capitals taking on the Boston Bruins in their season home opener tonight.
Pretty exciting. Before the puck drop, players walking the red carpet with fans cheering them on. There is, of course, high hopes for this season, including a deep run in the playoffs, and Alex Ovechkin continuing to add his all-time goals record. Right now, though, the Bruins are leading the Caps 1-0. This is late in the second period. We'll have highlights of the game at 10 o'clock over on DCW 50.